Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So day 2 of the NFL draft just wrapped up, and the Jets walked away with slot wide receiver from Ole Miss, Elijah Moore, and I was totally pumped when the team made that selection. I truly think Eli Moore is going to help this offense in a big way, but we only had the one draft pick. This team still has a bunch of vacancies. We can still add talent at numerous positions here. So let's dive in. Let's talk a little bit about the later rounds here, 4, 5, and 6. We don't have a pick in round 7, barring any trades. We have 2 4ths, 2 5ths, and 2 6ths. So with that being said, let's jump in. So the first player on the list was a guy who I thought was going to go maybe late round 2, early round 3. I'm shocked that he's still here. It's outside linebacker from LSU, a North Dakota State transfer, Jabril Cox. You're looking at Jabril's skill set and you're asking, okay, how does he fit into the Robert Saleh defense? And I think pretty good as that 4-3 outside linebacker, a guy who can drop back in coverage, a guy who's had a ton of success doing that throughout the course of his collegiate career, a guy who can move really well in open space, right, in open field. He's not getting caught in quicksand. He kind of understands what's happening. He's understanding what the offense is trying to do. Never flat-footed, like he's not a clunky player, not in the least. He's kind of built perfectly for today's league with all the mobile quarterbacks, all of the throwing, the short passing. So I think Jabril Cox in round 4 would be an absolute steal. I truly thought Jabril was going to be gone by this point in time. Like a late second, early third, mid-third round guy. I thought that's where Cox was going to be going here, but he's still on the board, and I would absolutely love it if he's the pick. Next up, running back from North Carolina, Michael Carter. Let's get a guy in the building who not only would just be a great system fit for Mike LaFleur, but he can hit running lanes with just tremendous acceleration and tremendous burst. I feel like as soon as this guy touches the football, like his first couple of steps are just so impactful to that initial play. He's been super productive over the course of his Tar Heel career, hasn't fumbled last couple of seasons. He's an extremely tough player. What else? Back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons as well. I really like Michael Carter a lot, especially in this offense. Now, I will say this. I like the Jets running back room as is. Like, if we don't add another running back, it's not the end of the world. I think it's a pretty solid unit, but I do feel like maybe we are missing that young core running back that does have a pretty high upside. And Michael Carter could provide that in round 4 here. Again, we have 2 4th-round picks, so maybe one of those will be used on the ex-Tar Heel running back. Next up, edge rusher from Pitt, Rashod Weaver, a prospect with incredible size. He's like 6'4", 260, 270, insane power, insane strength, and a huge upside. And I feel like for those reasons alone, Rashod Weaver will have a place in the NFL. Now, I do feel like I feel like the coaching staff is more important than the scheme fit for Weaver. And by the way, Rashod Weaver isn't this like explosive, twitchy athlete like a Jalen Phillips or, like a Kwity Paye or something like that. He's definitely a little bit more, I don't want to say clunky because it sounds negative, but it's just a little bit more slow twitch, I guess. But Weaver, you take a look at what he did in Pitt, he was a constant force. Like when he got a hold of tackles and guards, he would, like with his hands, he would do a lot of damage. I never really see Weaver being like this double-digit sack guy or anything crazy like that, but I feel like Weaver would be one of these players that does a lot of the dirty work for a defensive line. And again, with Robert Saleh coming in as the head coach of the football team and looking at this defensive staff, I'm really going into the season, and who knows, maybe I'm just my head's in the clouds. I'm assuming that all of our defensive players currently and that are coming in are going to be playing at least a little bit better than what they have been because of just the overall defensive knowledge, the defensive system, and Robert Saleh's ability to put players in positions to have success. So if you're looking at a guy, and maybe I think Weaver probably would go round 5, round 6, that's kind of where Weaver's probably going to be going off the board here. So if the Jets want to go try to target an edge guy, Weaver could be a possibility. Next up, one of my favorite players in the entire draft, corner from Appalachian State, Shamar Jean-Charles. Now, Jean-Charles doesn't have that elite size or anything crazy like that. He's only 5'10", 5'11", but Jean-Charles is really aggressive. He's competitive. He is physical. He's not afraid to get his hands in there, not afraid to do the dirty work. He has a lot of versatility. You can play him on the outside, play him on the inside, even though I think he's more of a slot corner at the next level, right? Specifically for this Jets team, I think he would be more of a nickel guy, especially because he is a gritty player. So I think Jean-Charles could be, I mean, honestly, like, if we take him in round 4, I would be cool with it, but I think round 5 is probably where Jean-Charles is going to be going here. But if the Jets were to land him here, I think it would be a huge boost. Obviously, we've neglected the slot cornerback position for pretty much the entirety of the offseason. It'll be interesting to see if we target really that nickel corner spot in the later portion of the draft. Next up, center from Kentucky, Drake Jackson, another one of my favorite players here. This is a guy who we're looking at in the later rounds, right? So obviously he's not going to be a perfect prospect or anything like that, but he's really effective in the running game. He's a 4-year starter for the Wildcats, and he's really been a pillar on that offensive line. Constant production, great. He's fantastic in the running game, and he has 4 years of experience in the zone blocking attack, which is the same exact blocking scheme that Mike LaFleur will be running with the New York Jets. So we missed out on Creed Humphrey. We missed out on a Landon Dickerson, maybe. And by the way, we missed out on Josh Myers as well, another one of my guys. So maybe Drake Jackson is in the Jets' plans moving forward as we transition to rounds 4, 5, 6. I think Drake Jackson, to be honest with you, it's tough. I'm going to say Drake Jackson goes in round 6, if I had to guess. Next up, running back from Memphis, Kenneth Gainwell. Now, Gainwell is one of the more exciting players in the draft, a highly productive player at Memphis. I mean, he was one of the, and it's crazy because, yes, I know we're talking about the later rounds here, but to me personally, I don't think there was many more exciting players in college football than Kenneth Gainwell. I mean, some of the stuff that he did every single Saturday for the Tigers, it was crazy. Now, I do think Gainwell is more of like a third down back for sure, and I don't want the term like gadget player to come across as like a negative on Gainwell, but when I look at Gainwell in the Kyle Shanahan West Coast system, the Sean McVay West Coast system, I think it would be a beautiful fit. Just a guy that you can, send him on end arounds. You can, dump a screen pass to him, and he could take a, what would be a 4-yard pass into a 15, 20, 25-yard pass just because of the burst, the acceleration. Next up, corner from Ohio State. I know it's not a popular player here. I get it, but we're going into rounds 4, 5, 6, and 7. I still really like this player. I am down to take a swing on this player. It's corner from Ohio State, Shaun Wade. Now, Shaun Wade at one point in time was considered a first-round pick. He was destined for greatness, right? With Ohio State, all he had to do was take that next step, which everybody thought he was going to do, but it didn't really work out that way. He was great as, an underclassman. Last season, comes up 2020, takes that step as the number 1 corner. Disappointed, for sure. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. He let a lot of people down on that Ohio State defense, but when I look at Shaun Wade's struggles last season for the Buckeyes, I think a lot of it was due to pressure. I think a lot of it was thinking on the outside and like having to be the guy when I don't really feel like maybe he was ready for that. I think Shaun Wade's more of a slot guy to begin with. I like the size. He's 6 foot. I still like Shaun Wade, and I get it. A lot of people are jumping off, and that's completely fine. I mean, 2020 from top to bottom, it was a down year. That's why he's going in the later portion of the draft here. So I still think I would take a swing. That's just me, though. If I was Joe Douglas, I would roll the dice, especially because we have 2 picks in every round here. 2 fourths, 2 fifths, 2 sixths, none in the 7th, obviously, but we need this position. Let's figure it out. Let's add some more talent to the room. If he doesn't work out, it is what it is. It's not a first-round pick. If we draft Shaun Wade in the 6th round, I mean, the upside with Wade is there. Is kind of what I'm getting at here. Next up, linebacker from Alabama, Dylan Moses. Okay, now Moses is a really intriguing player here because on the field, Dylan, he's going to come in, he's going to be solid, he's going to hold down the position and do his thing. He's a ball player. On the field, this guy he's a lock, right? He's a lock to be a solid player. But he has injury concerns. I feel like at this point in his career, hence why he might still be available here, he's injury prone. He had the foot injury back, years and years ago, and then I think he had an ACL back in 2019. I know it was a lower body injury. I'm pretty sure it was an ACL, but I mean, when you're looking at the upside, when you're looking at the size, what he does in the running game, the speed, getting from point A to point B, I think there's a lot to like with Dylan Moses. It's just based off of injuries, and it's tough because you never really can plan that. It's not like learning the system. It's not like, getting faster, losing weight, bulking up, nothing like that. You just can't control the injuries. So it's really up to Joe Douglas here. Would you want to take roll the dice on a Dylan Moses? I feel like the consensus amongst Jets fans, at least, from the fans that I've talked to, it's a pretty big no to injury-prone players for this offseason specifically, just because of the vacancies. But I mean, I don't know if Dylan Moses is there in round 5 and round 6. I honestly wouldn't be mad at it. I mean, just because you're taking him with the upside, right? He has the upside to be fantastic, absolutely fantastic at the next level. Next up, corner from San Diego State, Darren Hall. Now, funny enough, I've actually watched a lot of Mountain West football just because the games are on so late at night. Over here on the East Coast, it's just awesome just to hang out, just watch some Mountain West late at night. It's awesome. So I've seen a lot of Darren Hall. He has pretty good size. He has production in both man and zone coverage. I don't think Darren Hall's limited into a box he's just a man corner, he can't do anything else, or he's a slot guy, not gonna have any success on the outside. I think a lot of I guess weaknesses or the areas of improvement for Darren Hall can be coached, and I feel like that's really important. It's not injuries holding Darren Hall back. It's kind of technique style of things. I think he does have the physicality and the toughness to play as well. And also, you look at what he does in the running game. He's stout. He's stout on the outside, stopping the run, runs the outside, pitches, mobile quarterbacks, all that good stuff. Darren Hall does a really solid job on the outside. So I think he's a guy to keep your eye on. Round 4 for me. I don't know. Round 4, round 5, I guess. And last but not least, wide receiver, we have to do this one, from BYU, Dax Milne. Okay, let's go get Zach Wilson's partner in crime in the green and white. Right now, who knows, maybe we can get him in the undrafted free agent market, but at the end of the day, I think it would make Zach Wilson's transition just a little bit easier, not on the field or anything like that, but just knowing that one of his good buddies is going to the New York Jets with him. I just think that would be awesome for Zach. And you look at what Dax Milne has done, specifically last year with Wilson, highly productive. Tons of 100-yard games. I mean, red zone threat, deep threat. Dax Milne did a lot of really awesome stuff. And we can never, and again, I like the Jets wide receiving room a lot, but we can never just assume everybody's just going to be 100% healthy. Right? We just don't live in that world where, we can't, this isn't Madden where we just turn injuries off. Players get hurt. Corey Davis has dealt with some injuries. Denzel Mims has dealt with injuries. So I'll leave it there. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Are you pumped? For these later rounds? I always get amped for the later rounds.